Welcome back to the Barbecue Lab. My name is David Gafford, and today I'm joined by my lovely wife, Melissa, and today we're actually going to be showing you what we do with brisket leftovers in making a smoked brisket macaroni and cheese recipe. All right, so for today's smoked brisket mac and cheese recipe, we have a few ingredients that we've laid out here, but we're gonna start with the basics. We just need some good old elbow macaroni, and we're gonna put that in water and cook it off. So Melissa, anything special we're gonna do with the elbow macaroni to make this recipe?
Well, we have a pot of water on the stove right now coming to a boil. I just put about a teaspoon of salt in there just to help flavor the pasta a little bit. We're only going to use half of a pound, which will be a half box of this because we don't really want a huge batch today. So that's what we're going to start with.
All right, so let's go over and let's get this macaroni on the water and see if we can't get this recipe going. Okay, so to pull this mac and cheese together, we need to start by making a roux. So Melissa, tell us how we're going to make a roux to get this thing started.
So we're going to start by melting 2 tablespoons of butter in our pot, and then we're going to stir in 2 tablespoons of flour. It's gonna mix together and kind of make almost a loose paste. We're gonna stir that until it gets lightly browned, and then we're gonna start adding in we've got 2 cups of whole milk and 1 cup of sour cream. So we'll mix that together, and the roux is going to thicken our wet ingredients.
And once we have that all incorporated, then we're gonna start adding the cheese. And what kind of cheeses do we have here?
So we have 8 ounces of sharp cheddar, 4 ounces of Monterey Jack, and 4 ounces of mozzarella.
I don't know about you, but I love the sharp cheddar. I love the zip that's going to give it. And then so we're going to actually melt the cheeses into this, and then we're going to season it, right?
Yes, we've got some pepper, some salt, and some garlic powder.
All right, so once we pull all that together, that's going to give us the mac and cheese mixture before we actually put the topping on. Once we get this mixture all seasoned up and ready to go, we're going to go ahead and put it in our cast iron and get it ready to be on the grill. So what we have here is about a cup of leftover brisket that we just cubed up once we were actually done. Now we're going to take this and incorporate this into the mac and cheese, and that is going to make this mac and cheese extremely decadent and delicious. And you're going to want to see how we top this off next. So now that we have the brisket incorporated, it's time to put the topping on this. And Melissa, tell us a little bit about this topping that you come up with, which I'm excited about. I can't tell you how excited I am to try this topping because it's going to be these things put together. And if you haven't seen them, check out what we have here. Melissa, tell us about it.
Okay, so we've got some of these little fried onions. I love these. I used to sneak into the pantry and eat them when I was a kid. We got some fried onions and some panko breadcrumbs and a little bit of butter to combine it. But with the fried onions, we're going to mash it up with a spoon just to kind of crumble them into smaller pieces first. We don't want it like pulverized, but we want, smaller bits before we add the breadcrumbs.
Now, and you have some butter here with the breadcrumbs, so what are you going to do with those?
After we add the panko into the onions, then the butter will kind of bind it together.
All right, now that we pulled this topping together, it is looking delicious. Those panko breadcrumbs and those fried onions. We're just gonna sprinkle this over the top evenly, and we're gonna make it so that we're ready to actually get this thing on the smoker and add a little smoke back to this smoked brisket mac and cheese. All right, so we're out here, we're cooking this today at the Lone Star 24x48 offset smoker, and we're gonna get this mac and cheese on here and let it get a little bit of smoke incorporated into the top of this. We have the smoky goodness from the brisket, but we're also gonna get some smoke on the mac and cheese itself. So let's get this on the pit. So we're running the pit today at right around 250 degrees, and we're gonna leave it on here. We'll come back and check in about a half hour, but this could go anywhere between a half hour and an hour for cook time at about 250, getting a good smoked flavor on the outside. All right, so our smoked brisket mac and cheese has been on the smoker for right around 30 minutes, and so it's time to check in on it and see what it looks like. There we go. It's starting to look good. The top's not quite as brown as I'd like to see it yet. So we're gonna go ahead and let it roll just a smidge more. But man, that is looking good. Check that out. So we're gonna go ahead and let that go for a little bit longer. See if we can get it to brown up on top anymore and go from there. Okay, so our mac and cheese has been on the smoke for probably right around an hour now, and it's looking fantastic. It's ready to come off. So I've got these heat-proof gloves on so I can actually carry this cast iron. Then we're gonna take it inside, let it cool for a few minutes, then we're gonna grab a bite. But I'm telling you, this thing is looking fantastic. So our brisket mac and cheese has come off the smoker after about an hour. It looks delicious, and all that's left for us to do is just dive into it and have a taste. So if you would show me a plate, I will do the honors. Let's get a little bit of this goodness on a plate. That crunchy top right there, man, that looks good. Still nice and steamy good on top. All right, you ready?
Yes. It's gonna be hot.
Look at the steam coming off of that. Ready? Oh man, that's tasty.
Yeah. So creamy. The brisket.
I don't know about you, but I love my mac and cheese still creamy. I don't like it set so hard that you can cut it into like pie-like slices. So this is perfect for me. And those little bites of brisket, that piece of barbecue right on top of this, it just takes this barbecue another level. Now, one of the things you could do is you could take your favorite barbecue rub and incorporate that with the topping mixture. We just use the French fry onions, but you could put a little barbecue rub on the top before you put it on the smoker. That'd even take it a little further with barbecue. Another thing you could do is you could take a little barbecue sauce and put a barbecue sauce drizzle on the top, which would actually take it to the next level. But just giving you an idea of what you can do with brisket leftovers, this is a tried and true winner. We think you've got to try this one at home with your leftovers. So this has been David Gafford and Melissa Gafford. We've loved having you join us right here in the Barbecue Lab. If you like what you've seen today, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel and then ring that bell and get notified whenever we put out a new video, because we do this to help you win your weekend. That's the reason we take the time to shoot these videos and share our recipes and share our reviews with you, so that you can have better success on the weekend to wow your friends and your neighbors. So if you make this, leave a comment in the video below. We'd love to hear that you've made this recipe and give us your thoughts about it. If you tried it and you did something different, let us know what that is. We'd love to hear from you. So we'll look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Barbecue Lab.